surprised me there. Yeah, might as well start with Ethan and Zach. I don't know if this will be their last home game, but I'm anticipating it is. What is Zach's impact been on the program over the 4 years?
Oh man, it's he's going to leave an indelible mark just with his buy-in, his attitude, his commitment on and off the court, what he's achieved academically, and then he's blazed quite a trail on the court as far as bringing it every day, taking advantage of your opportunity, working hard to improve, your position with the team, and then leadership. He's setting quite an example of how to get things done on and off the court and how to carry yourself. So, he's a guy, and we've had others, but definitely has carved quite a path for the future Beavers to follow.
What's a moment you'll remember about Zach just over the 4 years? Is there any one in particular?
Oh gosh. There's a lot. I just, one of the big things I think against Oregon last year, he hit a huge three and then kind of ran the wing and got a dunk that kind of iced that game, or a couple of big ones, but there's far too many to try to recall on the spot here.
In Ethan's case, it's he's kind of got a legacy sort of carved out Oregon State with all the numbers he's put up over the years. What do you think is his legacy in the program?
I kind of like Iron Man type deal. He I don't know that he's missed any games. I know that he's started from day one, which is I think one of my only recruit to have done that. And you talk about scoring, rebounding, steals, assists, all of those things. He's a stat stuffer. And another one who, you look at these two guys and they both got their degrees in 3 years. They're both working on their masters in year 4. With their leadership in the community, just great individuals that really helped lay the foundation for how we want to build our program, and the kind of kids we want to have here, but really the kind of kids we want to turn out after their time with us.
Yeah, he's never missed a game. Was there ever a game that he came to you, or you looked at him and thought, maybe not tonight, or do you remember any game that was kind of iffy that he might not play? Or
I remember, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, he had hurt his wrist, and there was some talk about if he wasn't 100%, should he play at all? But my deal. If the only way you're not going to play is if the medical staff says that you're really risking future or more harm, and we were never quite in that boat. Guys that we've had in the past play hurt, and shoot at just Trace, guy that played a lot of games, banged up a lot of years, and so there was never any real thought put into it. And Ethan's a tough kid, and like I said, a bit of an Iron Man. So he never came to me and showed me that he was, had any cause for concern.
Wayne, with Zach, in particular these last couple of years, what have you seen from him that has allowed you to really allow him to be somebody you can depend on?
Well, he's become a very good, smart defender. And if he's guarding quicker guys, he's gotten really good at understanding angles and how to use, the floor. He's been a reliable playmaker. That was something early on. We really limited him to just shooting the ball, and he wanted to work on being able to put it on the floor and make some plays. And for a while this year, he was our leading assist guy, and he may still be close. So he's worked hard on his game, and the big thing is the maturity he's shown at, I know he's probably had a lot of pressure on him to do this, that, and the other, and he's been able to kind of keep that stuff aside and really stay focused on what he needed to do for us to give us a chance to be successful. And he's really bought into that. And again, it's hard to not have him out on the floor because he's so reliable at both ends. And I think this year at times when others maybe younger than him have really stepped up and had big games, and it's only happened a few times to where his minutes were cut from normal. And I think as recently as the Stanford game, he didn't play a whole bunch in the second half because some others really had it going. Yet he was the first guy waving a towel, cheering him on in timeouts during the action. And then as the clock was ticking down from 5-0, I saw on video, he's the one up slapping everybody 5 on the bench before the horn went off. So that kind of leadership it just speaks volumes for the kind of character and team player that he is.
And with Ethan, how have you seen him or kind of, I guess seen him handle being a guy who you guys depend on so much?
I think he's handled it great. He's had a heck of a career. There's times he's kind of put the team on his shoulders. There's times he's taken a backseat, when others have it going, and being a facilitator. I think he's really this year done a remarkable job on the defensive end as well, and become just a really good all-around player, and definitely going to leave his mark on the program. But couldn't be more proud of, he's not always the most vocal, and we've challenged him with that. And especially these last few weeks, we've seen a lot more of that come out of him, to where he's, grabbing a guy and telling him if he's not doing something right, or encouraging. And I think that's really, in his 4th year, that's the part of his shell that he's got to break down, I think, for his game to translate to the next level. And he's really worked on that. And it's no coincidence, what it's led to here late in the year.
Wayne, you've won 5 out of 7 against Oregon, and I'd ask what's your secret, but I know what your answer will be. But is there any?
You do listen to me.
Is there any commonality in those wins?
Gosh, I mean, obviously the big thing with them is handling their pressure. You can't let them turn you over and get out and get those touchdown turnovers. Can't let them get into a rhythm in the half court. But other than those generalities, obviously earlier this year, they were really handcuffed, missing, most probably, their top 3 or 3 of their top 5 guys anyway. So we know it's going to be a much different battle. They're going to be a lot better, but we feel like we're a lot better than we were the first time we played them as well.
Coach, how different is Sunday's game going to be now that Oregon has LJ, Chris, and Will on the floor compared to last time where they didn't?
It's going to be a heck of a challenge. Yeah, those guys, they're so good defensively, offensively. They're all weapons from the 3-point line all the way to the basket. They're very, very good players. And, without those 3, they gave us a heck of a battle. We hadn't really hit our stride yet, but there's some things we know that we can do better, even though those 3 will be in the lineup. But man, they're a potent team, that's for sure, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge.
When you guys played them last, it was kind of Warri's coming out game. He had 16 rebounds. Is he someone you guys are going to continue looking for to give you that dominant force on both sides of the court? For sure.
And you look at our last few games, he's been doing the same. He had 6 offensive rebounds, I believe, the other night at Utah. Was big at Stanford. So, when he's got it all clicking, he's certainly a weapon for us on both ends of the floor. And we'll challenge him, to continue to do those things and maybe even be a little more consistent now that we're in March and down to the big exciting time of the year.
Wayne, you've got number 5 locked up and a bye, and I'm just wondering, does that matter much to the players in terms of having a little bit of the pressure off going into Sunday, or does that have no bearing at all?
I'll be honest, I didn't even mention it at practice today. I did have a couple of players come up to my office well before practice, excited about that, and I didn't make much of it because there's arguments that if you get to play on the first day, you can kind of get the funk out a little bit, so to speak. And there's, you saw it last year, teams that didn't get to play the first day, stunk it up a little bit on day 2. Did we get to day 2? No, we didn't get to day 2, but you saw some upsets anyway. So there's a couple different ways to look at it. But for us, we didn't make a huge deal about getting a bye. And so, it is what it is. I mean, it's a great accomplishment because of where we were picked. But certainly it wasn't our motivating factor or our major goal. That's still in front of us.
Coach, have you been paying attention to any of the success on the women's side? They just beat Oregon twice in this 1 week. So is that a little bit of motivation for you all to get that another win over them?
We're really excited, for them. Obviously, they've really put together a heck of a run, especially here of late. So certainly, sending text messages back and forth, but this is, our guys, hopefully will be excited and motivated. But this is, to be honest, our own deal and our own control. So we just know that it's a rival game. It's our last game of the regular season, and we want to carry some momentum into the tournament. So that's where the focus is.